Hello and welcome once again to nepaltraveler.com. We're back with another episode of our travel trade talk, and joining me today is the GM, Mr. Tushar Nagar, who is the general manager of the Hyatt Place Butwal. This is a fantastic property. We arrived last night. I really had a lovely time in the room. It's comfortable, it's luxurious, and this morning we're having a chit chat to let you know about this amazing new property in Butwal. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Dharanji. Thank you.
So, Tusharji, to start with, we always go down that road.
Right.
Where did you start your hospitality journey?
It's way back in 2007. I started my career with the Oberoi Vilas. That's way back in India. Though I belong to the holy spiritual city Varanasi, but all my career has been there from starting from the Oberoi Vilas, moved into with Marriott, Hyatt, different brands across, right? And been a long veteran with the Hyatt International for a longer time. And then finally, I got an opportunity to be here as a Hyatt Place Butwal, the pre-opening general manager. So that gave me an immense opportunity to again come back and open the hotel.
So, you're basically a man who has a lot of experience with the chains, with the international chains, the branded hotels, and that is something that Nepal is witnessing a lot. There's a lot of international chain hotels coming up. But coming to, as you said, you were here in the pre-opening stage. What were the challenges like at that point?
To be challenged, if I say, I never say as a challenge. I always see, always as an opportunity. The only reason why, when you come to a pre-opening, the biggest guru mantra what I have learned, and as a form of a discipline, which I keep telling to each one of them when we, walk through and when we start, as a pre-opening team member, it's all about being more patient. The reason why I say being more patient, because, you have, both the perception starting from the BMC, which is the, the project management company, and from the owning company and from the brand which you work for. So the coordination, all together, and the understanding which comes from all together from the both the parties is much more of a knowledge. And just to give you a very brief, we opened this hotel. The time I moved into this hotel, it's down the line 4 months we opened the hotel, because it was in almost a ready stage. The few things which we really wanted to encourage and to open a hotel, we did, and we opened the hotel. But yes, as you said, I always believe in the opportunity. What I look at it, not more of a challenge.
And what you're looking at opportunity. One of the challenges that most hotels, since we are coming with so many international branded hotels, is the human resource. How easy was that, or how challenging was that to actually find the right people to have a hotel like this?
If you ask me, definitely, again, as I say, it was not a challenging, but yes, we were looking for and hunting for the right talent in the market. So we had done multiple drives in the market, newspaper ad, going to Kathmandu market, going to the different parts of the Nepal, how we do. But actually what we got breakthrough was a drive. What we did at our hotel in the pre-opening was, how does it work, once our colleagues who comes actually to our hotel to see in an interview format, and they see, okay, how the structure of the building has come up, where they will be working, it gives them more understanding, coming in one-on-one and understanding. So that how what we break through, and we move into the structure of getting and hiring the people from the local market. So the ratio, Nepal talks about more of the 95% of the local. So we give more of the employment opportunity again to our, individual, to the Butwal and the Lumbini market altogether. And that's what we come from altogether as a whole.
When you look at Butwal, and perhaps this is the first international chain that is open in
Very
Butwal.
true, yes.
How do you see this market? When you were starting out, what was the plan for a Hyatt Place to be in Butwal?
Before this, I've been into the more of the number of keys hotel. To be honest, I have worked with more than 200 keys hotel, with more than 100 CRs, as a revenue, as in whole and soul altogether. But when I got this opportunity, I was really interested, because of few key reasons. If I talk about them, understanding the Nepal and the Butwal, because the Butwal is one of the growing, fastest growing city across the Nepal, what I can see. When people come, across from the cross border, or say from the international travelers who see, they always feel there is a Kathmandu, there is always a Pokhara, but they never talk about the cities like, the Chitwan or maybe a Butwal as a whole. So what I see and foresee, right, and what I can visualize is, and what I have gone through the reports, of the McKinsey and every reports what we go through, The Butwal is, as I said, the fastest growing city which we have. And moving into, there will be more into the structure of the tourism, what we look at it, more of the infrastructures which will be coming into, and more about the manufacturing. They already exist in the city, through all the businessmen who actually runs through and how does it move around in the city. So I think this will give us a more understanding once we go down the line. And we are the first, as you mentioned rightly, we are the first Hyatt, the international brand who have opened up, and more to go in the coming 2 to 3 years down the line. But we will are the one and will be the one when we always be called in the future as well that we open the first international brand.
And this hotel, what does it bring to the Butwal market? What is the speciality about Hyatt Place? If because our viewers would love to know
No, no.
about this property.
See, a very interesting question. And when we were doing a brainstorming in the pre-opening, when you move around the hotel and how does it work, the hotel is being into the theme when you go around. The time you enter into the hotel, people may see there are 4 pillars, but the 4 pillars symbolizes something, and that talks about the pillars of the Buddhism, what we call about. When you move around the hotel, you see the Bodhi leaves across the hotel. Maybe you go to the rooms, you go to the spa, you go to the elevator. There's always the painting and the artwork what has been done, understanding the theme, which is all about the Lumbini market. Because as Lumbini is being the birthplace for the Gautam Buddha. So this hotel is not only all about the hotel what has been built up, it has been built up with the themes and understanding, and all the emotions have gone through to make this place not more than a hotel what we call it, but more than a homely environment for anyone who comes across from either of the borders, the international travels, whosoever comes in.
And it's quite a big hotel because you have a number of rooms, and I think you have a excellent banqueting facility,
True.
etc. So, what is your target market at the moment? And
Currently, what we see, the first being the first year of operation, what we still see, we're still in the settling phase. We are revamping our hotel and we are moving forward. However, when we see how we target and what we are actually targeting, it is more about the wedding guest. When we talk about the weddings, which comes from the India, across the borders, or maybe the international travels, what we see, but that comes more from the cross the border, and that we look at it at the priority level. Followed by is our MICE corporates, what we look into that who again comes from the other part of from the same country though, from Kathmandu, Chitwan, or anyone who travel. But here it comes again from the cross border. And of course, the leisure travels is again a segment which is not there in the market, but we are trying to create. Because what we have seen and understand the market as we move forward, that there are more of the guests who are looking for an options. And now the Butwal has an option of a Hyatt Place, as a brand, what we give them and offer them in the market.
also, Butwal being in close proximity to Lumbini, is the Hyatt Place also looking at offering these whole experiences, this whole curated stay with us, we send you off to Lumbini and something on that line?
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, thank you, Tanerji. Yes, we have been doing. We have created in terms of understanding the guest need. See, how does it work when I am a leisure traveler or any of the guests who comes from across the border or maybe an international travel anywhere, part of the part of the world. In fact, they come. They always look for a itinerary. So we have an itinerary at the hotel which talks about to have a 2 night stay at the hotel, which are different pockets what we have here, starting from here to Pokhara to Palpa, to go to the Lumbini market or may go and visit the local, the Maya and the
Devi
temple, correct. So there are multiple aspects what we have curated, and we have all the itineraries created for all the guests. And very soon you will saying we will be launching a staycation package, which will talk about more of the itinerary for a guest that why you should visit the Butwal or Lumbini and why you should stay at Hyatt Place Butwal.
Exactly, because I think that Lumbini, the Butwal, that needs to be promoted as a destination
Absolutely.
to get more attraction, people to
Absolutely.
follow it.
So when we start, when we never talk about the Butwal, when you see all the cars and everywhere what has gone through, it more talks about the Butwal and Lumbini. The reason why, because Lumbini, is the point where actually the people know for it and why they should be visiting first Lumbini. Because it's, as I said, it's a birthplace for the Lord Buddha. So that has to be the initial talking point, and of course that's a spiritual place which a person must visit, and followed by the different the leisure trip what they want to.
You are from Varanasi, the holy
Yes.
city of Varanasi, so you know that market very well, and that's actually just across the border for us.
True.
It's very close. Great road accessibility in India and then into Nepal. What do you think we can do to further bring in more cross-border groups, weddings, small meetings, conferences?
See, the time I have stepped in and the time I'm settling in and the hotel is settling in, I'm going into more of the conversations. I'll not say with the government, but there are certain pockets like the Chamber of Commerce, or they are like an XYZ activity what we do. So I've been a member of that. So once we go across and we talk about on multiple points, right, how the cross-border business can actually work. Say a smallest of the all everything, if the flight gets operated, between the two countries, it works. When we know, and it's not me, it's the stats which talks about the Lumini has the highest generation of the business which comes from is the cross border, which is the India part, right, and followed by the Nepal market and the other countries of the world. So if that actually gets operated in a quick span of time, of course understanding how does the all the formalities and goes, much more is easier for all of us to drive business from there to Butwal to Pokhara and to Kathmandu. So no one has to go only to Kathmandu and come back. It becomes much more easier to travel from there to Butwal and from here to go either to Pokhara or to Kathmandu.
Also, in terms of Butwal, because as you said, it's one of the fastest growing cities. Economically, it is getting very strong. We have a lot of industries, a lot of businesses in Butwal. What does the local market look for, and what's the feedback now that, okay, there is a Hyatt place in Butwal, in our city?
See, as we know, we are the first branded hotel in the city, right? So guests do understand that, okay, what they're heading for and how they're heading for. But we have kept it very simple. Though we are a branded hotel, five-star branded hotel, and first being, western part of the Nepal, what we always call it. But we are very, local centric. We are still reasonable in terms of every aspect. If you talk about the pricing of the hotel, it talks about the food and beverage element, which is always as a Hyatt. We keep saying and we keep driving a food and beverage element because F&B as a whole for Hyatt is a trending and always in the market. So we keep doing. So we have kept things very reasonable. It becomes much more easier for everyone. So no one can in the market ever understand that way that okay whether we have to go or we do not have to go. Much more easier and pocket friendly for each one of them whenever they go in the market. We have much more services also at the hotel apart from the F&B and the room. We have the spa, gym, kids play area, which never have been in the city, right? So we have a kids play area also. With banqueting, they are much more elaborated gardens, open lawns. What we have, pool bar area has been a biggest hit the time we launched. We have been doing a multiple events there altogether, starting for your Christmas, New Year, multiple evening nights. What we do.
You had a corporate group yesterday evening also.
Yes, yes. So now that has become much more of a highlight in the hotel because that's an open air, And once we start this, I think down the line it will flow much more into in the coming months or the coming years. What we see.
With the number of hotels that are coming up in Bhairava, Lumbini, Butwal, do you see more of an association, more of a close collaboration between all the hotels? International brands are there in terms of actually making the destination more popular, making the pie bigger.
True. Terence, thank you for this again. Reason why, because I've been into this role, as a GM for much more of a time. This is my third assignment as a GM, and I've been, in love with the pre-openings hotels generally whenever I do and wherever I go. And that's why I always choose to be into the pre-opening hotels. What you said is absolutely correct. The reason I agree with your point is, when as an hotel, as a brand, and when you collaborate, with 3, 4, or 5 pockets all together, how does it become? You lift the market altogether. You lift the tourism altogether. This definitely helps you to build, as an economy part and in the tourism sector altogether. So this will definitely help us. And as I keep saying, we may be leading from the front. And when in down the line 2 or 3 years, when the other brands comes in, of course they'll collaborate with us and we'll move forward together.
As a final point on this talk, what is it that you would like to tell potential clients, tour operators about this property?
I will say, the 2 key points, the highlight of the hotel, that they must visit the hotel to see if they have been, somehow missed to see or somehow came to know that the Hyatt Place Hotel has opened. Because we are the one who gives you in all the formats, in understanding whether we talk about, the F&B parameter, we talks about the room parameter. Once you come to the hotel, you'll find everything what has been to you as your expectation. And of course, lastly, the pocket friendly. As I keep saying, the reason why we are, of course, a 5-star. No one should feel that, okay, we have been going into the market, whether a pocket will suit or no. Absolutely no. We are open for everyone, and we have, the rates in the market, the rates for the F&B, the rates from the room, which actually one goes around and in around the market.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us.
Thank you, Terence. Thank you.